Good afternoon, welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Heartgold. So, what I decided to do, instead of catching two Magmar and breeding them, is to instead catch a Magmar and a Ditto. Because, it turns out that 75% of Magmar are male. So I did catch a male Magmar last night before I went to bed. But there's only a 10% chance of finding Magmar in Burn Tower, even during the daytime. I think it's still daytime now, it's about 6 p.m. But even so, if only 1/4 of them are female, and I need a female Magmar, then the chances of finding one are only 2.5%. On the other hand, if I come down to this route, then I can find a Ditto, has about a 5% spawn rate. And Ditto is an amazing Pokemon because it can breed with any other Pokemon, such as Magmar. So if you have a good Ditto, then that basically eliminates the need to have a male and female version of the Pokemon you are trying to breed. Now there are some benefits to having Pokemon of the same species. For example, they can inherit moves easier that way. But since our Magmar is not a very high level, and Magby learns moves, I think at the same rate Magmar does, there's not really much of a point to giving Magby any moves just a few levels in advance. Especially because Egg Pokemon, as of Generation 4, hatch at level 1, so instead of level 5, it used to be level 5. So when I train him up the first few levels, it'll probably be by sending them out, switching to a stronger Pokemon, and then getting XP that way. Maybe around level 10 or so, I'll start training up Magby 1v1. And I guess I kind of liked having Pokemon at level 5, it kind of made them feel a little bit more like a starter Pokemon. But I guess the reason they did that was because people kept asking, if you hatch Pokemon at level 5, or if Pokemon hatch at level 5, how are there like Wild Pidgey and Rattata at level 3? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Unless they somehow de-level in the wild. But yeah, that's why they assumed that, or that's why they changed it so that eggs now spawn at level 1 instead of level 5. And that is actually the first, and I believe only way, to capture a level 1 Pokemon. Alright, and there is our Ditto. It's actually very appropriate to find Ditto on this route because it's right next to the daycare center. You kind of wonder if maybe like at some point somebody left their Ditto at the daycare center to breed and it escaped and made lots of little baby Ditto. Although, how do you make baby Ditto? I don't know if you actually can. Maybe 2 Ditto might make a Ditto, but I don't think that's true. I think Ditto are only catchable in the wild. So Ditto, as you all probably know, only knows Transform, which means it's going to switch into whatever Pokemon we bring in. So let's go ahead and bring in Sandshrew, because at least in the early generations, Ditto will also inherit the capture rate of whatever Pokemon it becomes. So I don't want it becoming Bayleaf, which probably has a fairly decent capture rate, or fairly low capture rate, whereas Sandshrew is probably a lot better. So now, because Ditto copied our stats as well, we can weaken this Ditto pretty easily with our own Sandshrew. Unfortunately, that Ditto is faster. I think Ditto also copies your speed, so I think it's probably a speed tie. And when your speed is exactly equal, the game just rolls each time. Alright, well you did a good job, Sandshrew. Let's bring in Hoothoot. And what attacks do I know? I think Ditto can probably survive a peck, so let's go with it. Yeah. Alright, tempted to use one more peck to get a little lower, but I really don't want it to crit, so let's use Hypnosis. Tackle might do a little less damage, but it still gets stabbed, so I'm still thinking that if it crits, it might be really close. And Ditto's already asleep. We have some Great Balls. I did buy some more. Wrong bag. So, now I wonder, that's interesting, if you use a Repeat Ball on a Ditto that's transformed into a Pokemon that you have, does the Repeat Ball count as for Ditto, or does it count for Sandshrew? Probably Ditto, but it would be interesting to try. Let's use some Pokeballs while we're at it, because Ditto's not going to run away or anything, and if it wakes up, I can always put it back to sleep with Hypnosis, or I could switch to Olive and use Yawn. But we didn't need to. We have successfully caught Ditto. Alright, Ditto's data was added to the Pokedex, it can transform into anything. When it sleeps, it changes into a stone to avoid being attacked. That's very interesting. I never knew that about Ditto. We are not going to give a nickname to Ditto because it is not going to be part of our team. It would be really cool to train a Ditto, just to have it transform into every Pokemon you face. But because I think Ditto keeps its HP stat when it uses transform, it's not that good. Plus it has to use up a turn in the transform itself. What I would like to do one day is maybe get a Ditto that has, I forget what I think it's called Imposter, the ability, its hidden ability, which makes it transform as soon as you send it out. That would be really cool to train a Ditto that way. Ditto is actually my cousin's favorite Pokemon, fun fact. Which is sort of a cop-out, because that's like saying every Pokemon is your favorite Pokemon, but it would be really cool to train a Ditto, especially if you're like in the real Pokemon world, because it could become any Pokemon it encounters. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch out. I'm going to put back Scyther for our Magmar. And, oh, you know what, actually? I need to make 2 spots. So let's put in Magmar and Hoot for a second. And we need to go pick up our Ghastly and Geodude. See how much they've grown. Not now, Ralph. Ah, it's you. Good to see you. By level, your Ghastly has grown by 14. Your Geodude has grown by 20. Wow, okay. That actually makes them... Wow! I must have been doing a lot of walking recently. They're now like my highest level Pokemon. That's awesome. Unfortunately, it does cost me a lot of money to get them back, but otherwise she just keeps them forever, so... I guess our collateral in this case is our Pokemon. Wow, that's a lot of Pokedollars. But that's cool. I might want to like train those guys up one level just to evolve them into Graveler and Haunter. And we can have them not as part of our team, but sort of as backup. I was planning to keep Sudowoodo with us, because it's a better backup than like Scyther or Hoot would be, since they're such low level. But for now, let's go ahead and do what we came here to do, which is to hatch or to acquire an Magby egg. Okay, so we for now don't need Ghastly, and we for now don't need Geodude, although I'll probably put them back into my party. I will want Hoot eventually once it learns Fly, but for now he can take a nice break in the PC. Alright, daycare lady. Hopefully you do as good with these two as you did with the last two. We'll put in our male Magmar and our Ditto, which can become whatever it wants to be. It's kind of a cool idea, and it makes sense too. Somebody must have gotten a pat on the back when they came up with that idea, when they were talking about introducing breeding and how it would work, and somebody said, what if there was a Pokemon that could breed with any other Pokemon? That'd be, oh, that's just such an awesome idea that ended up becoming a big part of every generation. Now what you can do, as I think I mentioned before, is talk to the daycare man and see if your Pokemon like each other. Good to see you. Your Magmar and Ditto are doing just fine. The two don't seem to like each other much. So that happens when they're the same species. I guess also when they're the same species or a Ditto. I thought it being different species that might help. But having Pokemon from different species or even different regions increases how much they like each other. So what basically happens at this point is we run around in a big circle on our bike. Here, I'll show you what I do. I'm not going to do this whole episode. But what I tend to do when breeding is roll just north all the way or most of the way and then south. And you can watch TV while doing this. You don't even really have to pay attention. You just kind of hit the up button after a while, hit the down button after a while. And whenever you get to the bottom, just check the old man. He'll be turning left if he has an egg. If he's turning south, that means he does not have an egg. So you can see there, he is facing left. Oh, he has an egg. Okay, sweet. Alright, well, that's pretty cool. Alright, I will take good care of it. That is, I don't think we'll ever find another. No, I'm sure. Okay, about to say, what do you mean you're not going to find another? No need to call me. I'll come back down and check eventually. Okay, so that's great. We have our egg. In that case, let's go ahead and grab one of our two Pokemon out of the PC. I'm going to leave those two there, though, just to, why not, make some more eggs, I guess. So let's bring out our good old Ghastly. Ironically, we'll be facing a ghost-type gym, so that might be really useful. So I was thinking about maybe doing some bike riding between episodes and getting this egg to hatch, but I'd like it to hatch on screen. So I might do some bike riding, but not enough to make it hatch, just to get it advanced a little bit. Ooh! I have a great idea that I am glad I thought of now. So, do you guys remember a while ago I told you that there are certain abilities that can make eggs hatch faster? One of the Pokemon that has one of those abilities is Magmar. So we actually want Magmar back. I'm going to keep him in my party, and that'll make our egg hatch twice as fast. That's kind of cool that Papa Magmar is kind of cradling his little egg and making Magby hatch a little bit faster. Alright, so we will have to put Ghastly back. Sorry, Ghastly. We'll grab you some other time. Alright, you know those little boxes you can see on the right side of the screen? Those are all just made in Photoshop, which is actually, it's not too time consuming, but it does take a little bit of time to do, and it definitely adds up, so I don't want Ditto back. I do want Magmar back, though. Oh. Do I have to take Ditto back first? Or does she, okay, she asks which one. Okay, good. I do want Magmar back. Yes. So, I'm just thinking right now, all this switching Pokemon around is going to make me spend like half an hour in Photoshop getting all these little cards. But I think it's a really cool aspect of the Let's Play. I've seen other Let's Players do it, and I've always wanted to do it, and that's why I do it. Probably makes it a lot more interesting too when you can actually see your team right there on the screen. No, you can keep Ditto for a while. Alright, I'm not going to put Ghastly in there. It's just, I've switched enough as it is. Save myself making one or two more title cards. So let me make sure Magmar has Flame Body. Flame Body, yes. There's another one that does too. I think Slugma can have both those abilities, so Slugma, if you happen to have one, is a really good Pokemon for this. I'm not actually sure where you catch Slugma. It is a Gen 2 Pokemon, but you might only get it in the Johto region, or the Kanto region, I'm not really sure. We don't really need to heal, because only Sandshrews really fainted. But what I do want to do is, while we're here, go to the top floor and do the lottery. So I discovered a few things while I was catching my Magmar. One of the things I learned is that Nature Gift, or Natural Gift, uses the berry that's held by it, which I didn't understand before. I guess it might be a little overpowered otherwise, but I don't know, I think it's only 60 base power. I think it'd be a really cool move otherwise. When it uses your berry, that means you can only use the move once per battle, and it's not even that good. It can miss, too, so it's just, so let's see, Natural Gift. See, it attacks by using its held berry, but that doesn't really say that it consumes the berry. So I did give Cherry another Pekka Berry, just otherwise the move slot is completely useless. So we can at least get one move out of it. I did harvest our berries from our pot here, and got 2 of each, and planted 2 new Orin and 2 new Pekka Berries. It was only once I planted those that I realized that Heracross actually has an Despair Berry, so I went ahead and took that. Gave him an Orin Berry in return, but alright. Let's do the daily drawing, sure. That way we can get another berry, or maybe something even better. Number 2 prize, which is Timer Ball. So that helps you catch Pokemon the more turns that the battle goes on. So that could be useful. Not sure if I would have rather had that or a berry. Probably that, because berries are a little easier to get. Take me to the first floor, please. Not sure if there's anything else I can do here in the department store daily. It's not Sunday yet. Somebody comes on Sunday. I think they said she gives you a TM. So we will be back here tomorrow if I don't forget. In fact, let me just make a real quick note. Alright, cool. Good. So I have started keeping a little notepad here to hopefully write down things that I want to talk about if I don't get the chance, or things I want to do so that I don't forget. So I tend to be a list maker by nature. If I want to remember something, I have to write it down, because otherwise there's just not enough room in my head to keep all the things that I want to remember. And I actually have a pretty good memory, but between work and real life and video games, there's just not enough space in there. Okay, we might encounter some wild Pokemon, so... Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and bring out... Oh, we don't have Ghastly. Right, okay. Let's put Rod in the front. He could use some more XP. Wow, one step and we already encounter a wild Pokemon. And it's an Nidoran. Well, I will say this at least. As soon as we get to Ecruteak, then there's our netball. That's cool. As soon as we get to Ecruteak, then we will face the gym. And with Shadow Claw and Extrasensory, I think we'll be okay. I'm debating whether or not I should bring like Ghastly just to be safe, or Ghastly and Geodude maybe. I'm really thinking I'm not going to need them, but I don't want to get overconfident. The last 3 battles were all a lot harder than I expected. I guess not Bugsy. Bugsy was about as hard as I expected. And definitely as fun. But the other 2 were very tough, which I enjoy. As long as I win, I really like a tough battle. I'm just afraid of having a tough battle and then losing. Don't want to break my win streak here. I remember when my my friends or my cousin would lose when we were little and used to play together. We'd always make fun of them, like, wow, you lost a game intended for 8-year-olds. Good job, man. And we're facing a Pidgey. Not a great matchup for Heracross, but I think I'm faster. And because Pidgey is normal and flying type, then Brick Break will be evenly effective. That was a very interesting choice that they made when they made all flying Pokemon have a secondary type. So a Pokemon that would have been just flying became normal and flying. All the way up through, I think, Tornadus, the legendary Pokemon in Gen 5, is the first one that's pure flying. And I think to this date, the only one that's pure flying, which is kind of cool because he's like the legendary Pokemon of flying. And he's not really like a flying type, he's more like a genie or a Jin. Not entirely sure what the difference is. But it's definitely an interesting little quirk of the games. I always like those little quirks where all the flying types in the first generation are either normal and flying or flying in something else. Also, fun fact, of all the dual flying types, Noivern and Noibat I think are the only 2 that are primary flying, secondary something else. In their case, Dragon. I know they're at least the first, and I think they're still the only ones. I know that because I trained a Noivern in my previous 2 Let's Plays ago. Ball capsules. I think that lets you, you can decorate your Pokeballs, which is really cool. But that's not what I want to do. I actually hit the wrong button here. We might get into that a little bit later on. See, now that you have unlimited storage space, put Ghastly, we'll bring Geodude as well, just to be extra safe. You'll put our egg away. It'd be kind of cool to have the egg with us, because even though we don't have our 4th Pokemon for the 4th gym, he's kind of there in spirit in his egg. But I just really want to make sure that we don't lose this one. Because Morty, he's no pushover. And let's keep out Rod, because he could use the XP from the trainers here. So, one thing I don't remember is when they're in the daycare, okay, they do still earn XP, it's not just a solid level. So like Geodude's almost halfway there, Ghastly's about 25% of the way there. That's actually, that might be a really great way to train up my Magby 2 once he hatches, is just put him in the daycare and run around a while. It'll cost a few Pokedollars, but that might be faster than training him up. Alright. Yo, champ in the making! The trainers here use Ghost-type Pokemon at will. A Ghost is like a Shade or a Phantom. It won't do any good to use physical strength alone. What he really means is normal or fighting type attacks. Alright, this is really cool. Just like in the first version of this game, you can't entirely see what's going on in the gym. So she has 5 Pokemon. I wonder if they're all Ghastly. I wonder if there are any Mischievous in this gym at all. I hope so, because even if just Morty has one, because if not, it's going to be really boring facing only Ghastly and Haunter. It's going to be like Lavender Tower, Pokemon Tower, Part 2. Not for the first time. I feel like there was something I was talking about a minute ago and got sidetracked. I know there was, so when I was editing 2 videos ago, when we were facing Pseudo-Widow, I realized that I never quite finished describing what a Fear does, or Focus, Sash, Endeavor, Quick Attacking, Gratita, Or a rodent, I think was what the R actually stood for. But usually a Rattata was the Pokemon used. So the idea when you send it out, it's only level 1, it's against level 100, say Mewtwo. And obviously Mewtwo's faster, so Mewtwo goes first, say it uses Psychic. Thinking, oh, this is a Rattata, it's level 1, how am I going to lose to this? So that's what it does. Brings it down to 1 HP, because of Focus Sash, you can't be 1-hit KO'd. Actually, the ability Sturdy also does that later on, but I think that's only Gen 5 and forward. Don't quote me on that. In this gen, I think it just makes you immune to single-target knockout moves like Horn Drill. Yep, she did have all Ghastly. Okay, so anyway, once you're down to 1 HP, then you go second and you use the move Endeavor, which makes your opponent's HP matches yours. That brings the Mewtwo, in this scenario, down to 1 HP as well. And then because you know Quick Attack, you use Quick Attack on the second turn, which automatically goes first before Mewtwo's second Psychic. Oh, okay, that's vindictive. So I defeated her and now she puts out the light. Well, that sucks. So you gotta remember where to go. That's interesting. This is gonna be really tough once I go to the Pokemon Center and come back. Okay. Maybe I'll use some potions instead, or some Oran Berries. But because of the Quick Attack always going first, you take out that 1 HP, because sure, Rattata's only level 1, but it's going to do at least 1 HP, and a level 1 Rattata can defeat a level 100 Mewtwo that way. Or the vast majority of Pokemon. There are plenty of ways around it, using weather, or your own priority move, or a condition. There's just all kinds of stuff, but it is actually a very formidable strategy. Alright, so that's kind of cool that he has 1 Haunter, even though first person had 5 Ghastly. Oh, he has 2 Haunter. She has 2 Haunter, rather. I did think it was a little odd that a male trainer had a female Haunter. For some reason, they decided to give trainers in the game Pokemon of the exact same gender. I don't know why. Like, why can't you have a Pokemon of a different gender? Like, real trainers obviously have Pokemon of both. So, it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you think about it. The path is right before your eyes. That is not a very helpful hint. Alright, let's keep going. I think we're in pretty good shape. Let's watch the light as she moves. Okay, interesting. So I have to go down and around her. She says she lived with her Pokemon through summer, fall, autumn, or whatever. Summer, fall, winter, and spring, something like that. Which hasn't really been that long, it's just a year. I feel like if this was like a real thing, you'd be with your Pokemon most of your life. How cool would that be, too? I assume Pokemon live to be about the same lifespan as humans, but that's a good question, actually. Like, Agatha's Gengar, is that a Ghastly she caught when she was a little girl, or is that like somebody she's caught a couple years ago? Are they like dogs and cats? Because that'd be cool to have like a pet that lived your entire life, pretty much. I guess you can with like a parrot or a turtle, but unfortunately cats and dogs do not have human equivalent lifespans. So Counter's a pretty good move. We're going to keep our old moves. Counter's actually a move that used to be really good in competitive battling as well. I don't think it is as much anymore. But what it does, if your opponent uses a physical attack against you, you automatically go second with Counter. But you then use twice the damage back at it. So it can be very powerful. Alright, this is another Chandler. Oh, it's going to be tricky now. Okay, I have to go back a step and then around. Three Pokemon. I'm going to say Ghastly, Ghastly, Haunter. There's only so many combinations they can come up with here. I haven't really paid attention, but I hope in the later gens that trainers do use Pokemon of different genders. In these ones, it seems to be pretty consistent. But the nice thing about this gym is that Rod has been racking up quite a bit of XP. So it would just make a lot of sense for like her to have maybe one Misdreavus, and the next trainer to maybe have just one Misdreavus and nothing else, and then for Morty himself to have one mixed in with his full team. But nope. Ghastly, Ghastly, Haunter, and that makes me think that it's likely that they didn't switch things up, and Morty will probably just have 2 Ghastly, a Haunter, and a Gengar, or 2 Haunter, a Ghastly, and a Gengar. If I had to bet, I think it was 2 Haunter, but like I said before, I really just have no idea. Yeah, this is getting really hard. Oh, I went one step too far. Do I have to do the whole thing again? No, okay, it lights it up now. That's a little more forgiving. In that case, I probably will run back and heal our Pokemon up. Oh, I knew that was a mistake. Knew it. I just hit the button one too many times. Ah, I did it again. Let me try my running shoes. Take this nice and slow. Let's not fall into the foggy abyss. Alright, very nice. So I don't think there's anything over... Oh! I thought I was one step further forward than I was. The hardest part of this gym may be the puzzle here. Not because I don't know what to do, but because I can't seem to walk with any great precision. I guess Joe here does not have very good balance. Alright. Alright, there's Morty. So I think we've been one-hit KOing... No, we have not been one-hit KOing everything. Okay. Hopefully you guys won't mind. Let me just go heal real quick. And then we'll come back and take on the 4th gym leader. I'm really excited about this one too. Ralph! Not now. Because, he actually gives out a very good TM. A lot of them do, but like, Bugsy's I would teach Heracross U-turn if Heracross could learn U-turn. I don't know why it can't. It seems like it should be able to, but it doesn't. I guess because U-turn's usually for like, kind of like fast Pokemon or like flying Pokemon. And Heracross doesn't really fit that bill. But like Roost is really good. Attract we won't really use because it's not that good of a move in my opinion. But Morty's TM Shadow Ball we will definitely use. And in fact, because he has Shadow Ball, this could actually be a decent bit of a challenge. Very few Pokemon types resist Ghost. Like I was talking about before, it's only Normal, Dark, and Steel. And even Steel is only in Generations 1 through 5. Alright, here we go. Just one last check. He's got a berry. Let me go ahead and just to be extra cautious, because I want to be extra cautious. Poison or defrosting won't really matter here, but let's go ahead and give these guys Oran Berries. What does Togepi have? Quick Claw. Okay, I'll keep that, because Ghost Pokemon are pretty fast. Pekka Berry I need for Nature Gift. Otherwise I would give an Oran Berry. It doesn't do much, but 10 HP at this stage could very well mean the difference. Once you get a little higher level, you want to use Citrus Berries, or some of the newer berries instead of Oran Berries. It's good of you to have come. Here in Ecruteak, Pokemon have long been revered. It's said that a rainbow-hued Pokemon will come down to appear before a truly powerful trainer. I believe that tale, so I have secretly trained here all my life. I don't know how secret it is. As a result, I can now see what others cannot. I see a shadow of the person who will make the Pokemon appear. I believe that person is me. You're going to help me reach that level. Very ambitious, isn't he? I thought he was going to say the person is me. Maybe I have to prove my worth by beating him. So he does have 4 Pokemon. And Ghastly. So it probably is Ghastly Haunter, Ghastly Gengar. Alright, so we've defeated plenty of these guys before. We know what to do. Use a Shadow Claw. And they are a fairly low level. It's probably 21, 23, 21, 25. I think that's what it is back in the original games. Again, funny how much you remember. No. So maybe as a 21 Haunter and a 23 Haunter? That'd be cool. Hypnosis. Alright, now we're talking. Haunter is a pretty fast Pokemon. We are very lucky that Hypnosis missed. Might have made the battle more interesting, but it would have made it a little bit harder for sure. Gengar, he's going right to his best, saving his other Haunter. Alright, now Gengar is definitely going to be faster, and it's probably going to Hypnosis me, so let's just hope that it... Mean Look. That is not the move I would have used, Morty. I think he's making this battle way too easy. Because Gengar has very low defense, too, so this might be a one-hit KO. Not quite. And it does have a Citrus Berry. Yep, heals 30 HP. In later gens, I think Citrus Berries heal a quarter of your HP, or maybe even half. I think quarter. There are berries that heal half, though. Hypnosis. Alright, now we're talking. And because of Mean Look, I can't switch. So if he's going to use a Dream Eater here, I hope he knows Dream Eater and Shadow Ball as his last 2 moves. That'd be a pretty good Gengar. So his Mean Look does mean I can't switch. Not that I probably would anyway, but I have no choice now. So if he knows Dream Eater, he didn't use it, and this would have been the time to use it. So maybe he knows like Shadow Ball and Confuse Ray. But then what does he do against normal type Pokemon? I think Shadow Ball and Dream Eater would have been a good combo. Focus Blast would be an even better move to combo with Shadow Ball, but because because it's only level 25, I don't think Morty would teach him Focus Blast yet. Alright, so there's my Oran Berry triggering. It's not going to really matter. It's kind of a waste of a berry, but... Alright, I did wake up, and I did use Shadow Claw, which was probably going to mean we're going to sweep this gym with only one Pokemon. Gengar tried his hardest, but I think that mean look was a waste of a turn. Well, this Haunter's level 23, so maybe it's also faster? If so, then at least I'll have to use a second Pokemon. Nightshade. Pretty good move. Does 23 damage because it's level 23, so in that case, nope, the Oran Berry didn't quite matter. But we'll have to bring out a second Pokemon. Let's bring out... I don't know if Ghastly... Just for fun, let's bring out Ghastly. Can a level 27 Ghastly beat a level 23 Haunter? I believe in you, Ghastly. Ooh, Ghastly knows some good moves. So, Sucker Punch is a Dark-type attack, and it only... it always goes first, just like Quick Attack. But it'll only work successfully if your opponent uses a damaging move. So if Haunter tries to use like Hypnosis or Confuse Ray on me, it won't work. I could use 2 Nightshades, but Sucker Punch is going to do a ton of damage to it. But maybe I should save Sucker Punch for my second move. I'm just worried Haunter's going to use a Shadow Ball and one-shot me. Let's try the Sucker Punch, because it is a physical attack. I don't know, I'm not familiar enough with this Ghastly to really say. Check moves. Actually, no, I don't want to check moves. I want to check Ghastly. Attack, yeah, attack is a lot lower than my special attack, and Sucker Punch is a physical move. So even though it's super effective and hits on Haunter's lower defense, it won't do that much damage. What does Payback do? Does it do more damage if you go second? Because that'd be good. It's also physical, but it will do more than Sucker Punch, which is base 80. Or do I just go for the safe play and use Nightshade? Let's use Payback. And I went first. Oh, I thought Haunter was faster being evolved. Okay, it didn't do a lot of damage, even though it's super effective, because I don't get stab. Luckily, Haunter used Mean Look, so I'm glad I didn't use Sucker Punch there. But now it might try to attack me. I think Nightshade counts as a damaging attack for the purposes of Sucker Punch. So let's do it. It worked. Alright, come on, Ghastly. There you go, well done. How much HP do we get, or how much XP do we get? Not that much. How is this possible? It's because you didn't have very high level Pokemon, you didn't use good moves. I don't think our potentials are so different, but you seem to have something more than that. So be it, this badge is yours. And that's it, guys, we have the Fog Badge. Halfway there, as far as Johto gym battles go. By having the Fog Badge, Pokemon up to level 50, included traded Pokemon, will obey you. Also, Pokemon will be able to use Surf. Here is another thing, I want you to have this too. TM30, very nice. It's Shadow Ball. It causes damage and may reduce special defense. Use it if it appeals to you. It does. Alright, so... See, I really want to teach Olive both Fire Blast and Shadow Ball. I feel like replacing Yawn and Metronome would make for a really effective moveset, but I'm kind of not ready to quite yet. I just really love both those moves. Yawn and Metronome are so much fun, and Yawn is really good for catching Pokemon. It's good in combat, and Metronome is just a lot of fun. So let's hold on to her moves for a little while. Maybe at level 30 or so, I'll teach her those 2 new moves. And she'll take a big step up then. But alright, so I guess that's about it for this episode. I think what I'm going to do is go back, switch out our party a bit. Well, actually, you know what? What do you guys say we evolve? We play a little bit more and evolve Ghastly and Geodude. Let's do that, but I'm going to do that next episode. I might ride around with our Egg a bit just to get a little further along hatching-wise. But I will switch back to this team, and then we'll use our 2 kind of filler Pokemon just to get them to evolve, give them a reward for being in the daycare for so long, I guess, and for Ghastly doing so well in that gym battle. So, alright, well that's enough for this episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. We still have plenty more gym battles and plenty more adventures yet to come, so stay tuned for more.